Good morning, friends. Today I am going to speak on modernism in English literature. As you know, that modernism is one of the most important literary movements of the 20th century. Modernism developed mainly in the early 20th century, particularly between the 1910s and 1930s. It emerged as a reaction against the traditional ideas, forms, and values of the Victorian and earlier periods. The First World War had a profound impact on modern writers. The destruction, violence, uncertainty, and loss caused by the war created a feeling that the old beliefs and traditional ways of understanding life were no longer sufficient. Modernist writers therefore tried to find new ways of representing human experience. Instead of presenting life as simple, orderly, and meaningful, they showed it as fragmented, uncertain, complex, and often confusing. One of the most important features of modernism is experimentation with literary form. Modernist writers rejected many conventional narrative techniques. They used fragmentation, multiple viewpoints, stream of consciousness, symbolism, myth, and interior monologue. The writer was no longer expected to tell a story in a simple chronological order. A stream of consciousness became an important technique. It attempts to present the continuous flow of a character's thoughts, memories, feelings, and impressions. James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, and Dorothy Richardson are famous for using this technique. Another important feature is the fragmentation of experience. Modernist writers believed that modern life was fragmented and therefore literature should also reflect this fragmentation. T.S. Eliot's Wasteland is a famous example. The poem presents a broken modern world through different voices, languages, literary references, myths, and cultural traditions. Modernism also shows a strong interest in myth and tradition. Writers often used ancient myths to give structure to the confusing modern world. T.S. Eliot and James Joyce made particularly significant use of mythology. Modernist literature also focuses on the inner life of individuals. Instead of concentrating on external events, writers explored memory, consciousness, loneliness, alienation, anxiety, and identity. Some major modernist writers are James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound, T.H. Lawrence, W.B. Yeats, and Joseph Conrad. Important works include James Joyce's Ulysses, Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway, and Eliot's The Wasteland, and Conrad's The Heart of Darkness. In conclusion, modernism represents a major break from traditional literary conventions. It reflects the uncertainty and complexity of modern life and encourages writers to experiment with language, form, structure, and narrative technique. Modernist writers did not simply describe the modern world, they tried to recreate the experience of living in that world. Thank you.